Okay, I believe so. I am live. I'm gonna start having like a real guilt trip not coming to my channel. I would like to say in English, palm motion healing, the one here, and not recording accordingly. Uh, I'm trying to maneuver actually between two channels. Friend of mine has a channel that's named O Svemu I Svačemu, and pretty much I'm recording there a lot, like certain discussions. And then at the same time, I have my channel in native language that is Spoznaja 369, or I don't know English. So between those two, I'm like, I totally feel guilty not coming here and accordingly recording every single thing I'm talking there. Okay, I can hear myself. The volume is good. So, starting with the fact that I come from Europe, and at a certain time in Europe, we had March 8th, the International Day of Women. I went to the channel Samuel Svachamu and I recorded there, like, what is the real truth or the fact behind that one. Was it really meant for the woman to be, to feel good and to be worshipped and really recognized and respected? And unfortunately, or that March 8th, International Day of Women, was implemented actually more like something to maneuver out of the feminine part of the feminine movement, pretty much in Europe, and then connected throughout the continent. So, unfortunately, I think that's the sad story of it. I think the feminine energy should be celebrated all the time, every day, not only on a certain day. It can be one day like to celebrate more, but definitely in the base, it should be celebrated every single day. So I decided in that other manner to cover the feminine energy here and on the other channel, Spoznaya 369, in the native language, or actually Balkan language of Bosnian, Croatian, Serbian, Macedonian. I think pretty much all of us, we can just understand. So in the base, in the beginning, actually, how it was like meant from the creator, we have the creator, and we came in two genders, male and female. So first one, according to all the scriptures, was like male, and that's a solar principle. Little after that, God created a woman and the feminine principle within the whole earth, within two genders. So there is no third gender. I'm going to say one more time. I don't care if you change your gender or do whatever with yourself. That's your free will. I'm not judging anyone. I'm just trying to explain certain things from my point of view. And I'm just mentioning in that context. So even a man who wants to change his gender into being female or opposite female into male, they still gonna change within those two genders, solar and masculine and feminine female. So lunar female. So the third gender, maybe one day, if it comes to planet Earth, maybe we don't know yet, or if we develop a third gender from the laboratory, like invent a third gender, but that's like creation on the other hand of more like a human, not like in the nature how it was meant in the beginning. So those two principles, those two energies function like that, and they should be equal. They should be equal at all the time, because every man within himself has a masculine concept and has a feminine energy within him. At the same time, feminine has the same thing, the solar masculine and female, um, lunar feminine female concept at the same time. Throughout the time, I believe we saw that unfortunately, because of the strong masculine, like I'm the power, I'm the one, I'm the important one, the feminine suffered. Like it was more passive and it was suffering a lot. We saw a lot of burning on the crosses, and a lot of women called witches and just like all kind of stuff over the feminine concept throughout the time, because the woman is connected in a different way from the masculine on this planet Earth. It was just like that. It was from the beginning. It was meant to be like that. But they all equal in God. They all equally important in God. They are equally important here on the earth too. We're going to hear a lot of that. A lot of men have a problem understanding women, and I, through my practice, which I do astrology, reiki, and quantum healing, so I work with people mostly all my life on all levels, same in the medical field and medical profession. So I see a lot of complaints like that the man cannot understand the woman, that they have a different type of thinking and the behavior. 5 minutes is happy, then 3 minutes from that is crying, or just being hysteric on any other attributes. Um, the reason for that is because masculine is too strong, and then man does not connect within himself enough with his feminine, in order to understand that the woman in front of him is only representation of that feminine within him. So if you are a man and not happy with the relationship with the woman that you have, starting with your mother, grandmother, sister, your wife, your girlfriend, duh, then you should definitely start looking into yourself and trying to understand that that feminine concept is actually within you. The more you understand within you, it's going to be better for you to understand like how you should really treat the feminine concept within you. In the nature, how it's meant, starting like all the way, um, like through the ages, it was like by all the books and those mythology stories, it was like first was Lilith, and she was a dark, and she was not obedient, and after that comes the Eve that was more gentle and blonde hair, but she was more kind of tricky in the way that Eve was the one to try to convince Adam um, to try the apple. So in both ways is a representation of the woman, like the woman is the bad one. So it's either rebel and wild one, or is the tricky one. She's gonna be sweet and nice, but then she's gonna hand you an apple. And same result pretty much in both ways. So those are like the basic archetype concept of it. And why so? Because the feminine within itself, it has polarity of the moon. It's represented by the moon and the moon energy, and by itself, it has polarities. So you're gonna hear that like as I'm saying, only making a quote because it's easier to explain, because those words. For the woman, you can say at the same time like Saint and Mother Mary, or you can say like she's a bitch. So those are the two polarities that the woman really within herself can be really nice, giving birth, giving life, nurturing things, and being really close to like every holy being, celestial, or in opposite what woman can do and how she can hurt you. It can border like, because a woman gives life and can take life, can make the destruction of it at the same time. So those are two, as I say, extreme polarities that I mentioned. Um, so that shouldn't be like that, of course, because there is a polarity. Anything that comes in polarity, when we realize, when we live a conscious living. Who wants to know more on my channel, Spoznaya 369 in native language? It's much more about conscious living. I'm gonna start series here of something that I'm trying to do in my life, and I call it conscious living. So when we recognize those two polarities, we have to, it's our responsibility to put them, like, in the balance. So women within the feminine energy, and opposite both genders within male and feminine. In the nature, actually, God given. I mean, when I say God, I mean the creator. We were somehow at one point somewhere created. Whatever suits your explanation. Somebody's gonna say from this God or that God. I really don't go into that. When I say creator, I mean power higher than ourselves. We had to come from certain source. So that's what I mean when I say creator. I mean the power greater than ourselves who created us the way that we are. So in that manner, creator gave solar principle first, the male, and male by the physiognomy and everything else is a giver, and the feminine is the receiver. The lunar, the feminine is the receiver. So since the focus here today is on the feminine energy, in order for a female to receive, because that's her nature, she needs to be healed. My whole concept of both channels, the whole YouTube, my life mission is mostly concentrated on the healing. As you can see, palm ocean healing, palm because I live in Florida, like a palm tree, ocean is an ocean, and healing from the same lunar principle because I'm a female, so I can only heal. When I say healing, I usually put the moon next to it because my gender in this life is female. So healing comes for me from that principle because that's what I am. So in order for a female, for a woman to receive, she needs to be healthy. Relationship woman that she has with herself has to be healed. We know through the centuries because it goes from the Lilith and Eve, and it goes like that's the archetype that every woman has within herself, and then through our grandmothers, through our mothers, through our karmic concept. There is a lot of about karma. If you speak native language on my channel, Posetite, David. There are like 5, 6, 7 series of the karmic concept that I started. I'm going to be covering here too. So there is a lot to be healed. Rarely somebody comes to this earth healed. Rarely. There is a percentage in those energies that they don't need healing. So once the feminine heals itself, then it can help to receive from the healthy masculine. So it's like giving and taking, giving and taking at the same time. And then since the feminine does not give, but then the solar enjoys that feminine because he gave and that grows. Like it's like um, tree with the beautiful fruits. So the man gives, it goes from the seed and then it grows. He pays attention, he's giving more to it, and the feminine is expanding. And then a feminine energy is creative, so the woman has enough space to create, and the man gets to enjoy that. So that's his feminine. Those are like really healthy relationships. A woman cannot open herself to receive if she is not healed, or opposite. Neither she can neuter, neither she can receive. She can receive still unhealthy concept because if she's unhealthy, then she's going to be support unhealthy concept from the wrong man, from the wrong solar. So we see that a lot, exchange in the energies that are not healed. So if it's abuse, and the woman is get used to abuse, then she's going to be receiving more abuse, and that's so she's receiving and she's keeping it and she's okay with it, and then she gets more, and it still functions unfortunately. But what I'm trying to explain here, the most healthy balanced relationship between male and female, more focus on the female. So female is the one who's receiving, and female is the one who gives birth and who nurtures the thing and grows the thing within herself and within the surrounding. And sisterhood among the women is well known too, because those are energy imprints of the womb, of the menstrual cycle, through the generations and generations of all women on the earth, the sisterhood, and especially in your family, the genetic, and plus the karmic imprints at the same time. So those are very deep concepts, and you really have to dug in deep to understand and to accept and to work with it, actually, to work on it at the same time. So the masculine at the same time has to work on his principle too. There is a lot to say about because it's ruled by the moon and the solar, by masculine by the solar. So feminine is more prone to changes, more prone to like intuition, that can feel more because it's more connected with the matter, with the material, with the earth, with everything connected to the planet Earth. So women cannot um, uh, give itself life. So we know that that depends on the solar principle. So the man is the one who gives the seed. The women accepts and receive the seed. And after 9 months, we have a human being. So that's basic of the feminine energy. We say because it's connected to the lunar cycle, it's extremely connected to the lunar cycle in many ways. Full moon, new moon, waning moon, waxing. There is a lot of connection. So women are extremely connected to that. The most powerful one, it's actually when woman is in her zenith, and it's called a full moon stage in her life. So that's when she's ready to become a woman, to manifest herself, to get married and to have kids. And that's the full moon phase. Anyhow, even if you see in the sky, the full moon has the most capacity to shine, because, as we say, the solar gives, and if it's a new moon, it does not receive, because it's barely, there is no new moon. We don't see it from Earth or the half. But when it's a full moon, the solar concept puts the light on the full moon, and full moon in the night when it's dark, because the moon and feminine, it's a night energy. It reflects the most because it's a full moon, is the whole circle. And the womb is round, the belly is round, so there is a lot of connection there in the shape too. Woman connection to the water, it's extremely important at the same time. And a lot of other connections. So only because in the beginning we said that creator created first male, that doesn't mean that that's superior, because in God both energies are equal and the same, and that's how it should be in the earth. And when they are healthy, they balance out together, or they meet in the center, in the chakra, in the, you heard a lot of chakra system or the energy system. So let's just put that on the side, and let's say in the heart center, in the middle, when the matter and the spirit comes together, obviously the male and female, in the hexagon when they intersect, that's like the healthiest relationship that there can be. That means that within themselves, because it's not meant for the male or female energy to replace each other within themselves, but only fulfilled two pieces to exchange. So we should be the whole, and then our partner should be the whole, and then we just keep exchanging. If you're missing something and you expect from your partner, like to be a male, to be your father, or to be anything else besides your male figure, then you're never gonna get it. It doesn't work like that. And same thing versus male energy. So as we say, nowadays, when I started recording March 8th, and the feminine concept that did get very strong in the wrong demeanor. As I say, I'm not judging or saying anything against. I'm just looking that as long as we are out of balance at the same time, but the solar was, and the man was strong and the woman was suffering, now it's the same thing. It's a passive aggression toward man. So nowadays, women do not really need men. They can do everything themselves. They have important positions. They're making a lot of money. They can afford everything. So there is no really need. If they want to have kids, they can go to the sperm bank. So totally, unfortunately, in the way, in sense how it's representing itself, women today do not need men. Everything else, like substitute for a love or anything, they compensate in another way, and that's that feminine strong, but not in the real feminine, because that is not real feminine. Real feminine should never and would not ever overpower the masculine. And even though it's impossible, even if it looks like the feminine is overpowering the masculine, it looks like that, and it's not going to be able to support itself long run. I hope that that's only a phase on the earth that's going to go away pretty soon. Same thing with the respect, like we knew, like before, you can only get in the relationship if, when you get married, the first night, when you get married, you get to sleep with each other. Nowadays, in this society, it's like you get one drink and you're ready to go and make sexual intercourse, which considers the deep intimacy, either way, male or female. More female because of the physiognomy of the and a role actually of the female energy. So that's, I'm not judging if that's the phase that we need in the humanity. I mean, do as much as you need and let's get over it. Let's go, let's start something else. As I say, I'm not judging. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's out of the balance. It just does not work like that. At the same time, that comes like man was powerful. Now the woman is the one who can choose, and that way passively take out of the man energy. Like, oh, I don't need only one. I can have three men, and I can decide to give myself to this man or that man. And especially with abortion nowadays, unfortunately, I have to say that women has the right to decide about her body. Of course, she does. She can do anything with her body, whatever she wants to do. But this is not her body. When you get pregnant and when the heart starts beating and when you have another life within you, that's not your body anymore. That's somebody else's life. So that's a very thin line. If you want to cut off your hand, fine. If you want to do this or that, if you want to totally change your body, change the gender, that's yours. But once you have another life beating within you, that's not your body anymore. It's Creator decided to give you that another life within yourself, and that another life did not happen. Well, I'm excluding extreme situations like rape and who knows what, but I'm just talking of regular cases, that another life does not happen if you took certain precautions. So you did not think of it like totally irresponsible, and then another life happens, and now like you have to decide. Well, you should have decided in the beginning. As I say, I'm not really trying to judge. It's like you are deciding on somebody else's life at the same time, only because you didn't think upfront that, of course, you can get pregnant or whatever. I'm not saying the extreme cases of the rape this time. So, but anyhow, everything is a God given. Whatever it is, it's still a God given. And as I say, karmic concept and conscience is very, very important in this decision making, because it's not only that I look always at the higher. So at the same time, we said woman, because of that polarity, can be really nice, and the other ways. My clients and throughout all my life, working on all levels with the people, I saw and I heard a lot of stories that I couldn't imagine until then. Unfortunately, I'm saying the concept of the hurt woman. So the woman is hurt, it can go really, really bad. And then again, that same woman is mother to a son, so she's gonna affect the solar concept. So it goes like on, and then it comes out of the balance. So neither one was good. A solar concept where not too many women can be priests, or if a woman would know too much, she would be burned on some cross or something. So neither concept is good. Um, it shouldn't be that neither energy is solar or feminine. So then I don't kind of blame. I mean, who am I to blame? But I'm just saying I can totally understand now that feminine that gain power, it's not saying, okay, now I'm equal to the man. I have a power, so we are here. Now that feminine, because it was suppressed too long, has the need to overpower the male. And that's exactly what's happening. Being macho man, it's not in anymore. Neither you see those men to be. Men are becoming more feminine by the choice. Because, as I say, I can do special recording on that, and what's going on in that disbalance. Now I'm just gonna try to talk and stay on the feminine energy. So there is in that relationship that there are three stages, like Virgo or the little girl, and then the capacity with the menstrual cycle of the woman to become a mother and a woman. That's a full moon stage of the woman when she's wise enough, and then she gets married and she give birth to the child. And there is a third stage, an old crone or woman who has all of the wisdom and a lot of knowledge, and those are like usually the healers we see in the mythology, like those old, they usually call them the witches, because they really can at that point in their life dug deep in all the secrets, and kind of not meant for them in the man's world, but they still, they found the way. Actually, I think that was the way for the woman to gain that domino effect. When she was suppressed, she found in her own way how she's going to be equal, and that was like, using the nature, a lot of time using the nature or abusing the nature, to kind of try to maneuver or to accomplish something. um I don't know. There is a lot. It's much easier in the native language. I can tell that much that I covered on the other channel. But pretty much those two energies, as I said. One more thing. There is that little girl always and that little boy, and that should stay in a certain percentage if that can be measured, just to explain it, like 5 to 10%. So the man across you, like your partner or husband or your significant, they always gonna need that stage like of a little boy, when then you're gonna be a mother figure to them. But those are only like percentages and stages. That's not like women should not take more than that. Then we're losing again the same, losing the balance. Um, like and the same thing with the female energy. She's always that little girl, and there is always a little girl. But as I say, it should stay in a certain phase or percentage when the man see that, and when she needs a daddy figure, and be there, like consciously be there for that role, but not more than, as I say, a phase or just a certain percentage. Otherwise, we should be conscious, healthy, human, both energies, male and female, and that shit. Okay, that's enough French. Because this is like my 3 hour recording. First, like 2 hours on the first channel, and now on my Spoznatri Šest David, and now I'm here trying to speak English. Okay, so I'm gonna do my best to start recording this in English, and to cover more, pretty much follow up with everything that I covered on the other channel. And if you want to discuss, please join me on the chat. If you want to do anything else, or if you're in the area, I'm doing astrology, Reiki, and quantum healing. I do certain workshops based on what you need, based on my knowledge, a lot of experience, certain certificates, and so on. So thank you everyone for watching now and in the future. If you like it, please give a like. It helps the channel. If you know somebody who would like to listen this kind of material, please forward it to them. Otherwise, see you soon.